Sonali, talk about reading as a healer and how it helped people in their difficult, challenging times, and how it helped you in your challenging times.
Yeah.
Talk about the books that you picked over then, and you can recommend to other people. Of course, there's so many recommendations in your
Yes,
book.
the recommendations are for recommendations you have to get in here. Those are not coming in from me right now. But what I can say is that yes, my book club and reading was a huge part of my journey of healing. I changed the kind of books that I was reading. I was not reading books that were very dark at that point of time because in fact, it was something that my book club community pointed out to me when I picked up a book, A Little Life. Little Life is what it is, yeah, A Little Life. And it was a very sad book, very well written, but so sad. And it was like a hole in my being when I started reading it, and was very difficult, especially because I was going through my treatment. And my book club was like, I don't think you should be reading this book. There were so many comments that I got on this, and I don't think this is the right book for you when you're healing. And then they would recommend different books that were for my mental health. There were books that were for nutrition, for different kind of being. I think there was an article or a book on Serena Williams, and where her journey of really difficult pregnancies and then to come back and to win the championships. My God, she was such a role model. I said, you know what, look at what she's been through, and she's come back to the physical fitness level of winning the championships. I mean, that was just so encouraging. And I was like, you know what, I need to look at this. If I do, this is what it is. And so, picking out stories like that, which would encourage you to heal yourself, to try and get back to, not just get back to what you were, but to become better than what you were. So I really took my illness as a journey which was helping me educate myself, helping me evolve as a person. And so because I was looking at it in that sense, so the kind of books I was reading also changed.
I want to talk about Sonali the writer. From modern Gurukul to this book of books.
Yeah.
It has been it took you some years and all.
Yeah.
But talk about it. How has been the journey so far of being a writer?
Well, I'll be very honest. I don't think of myself as a writer because I don't think I am a writer. I have always said that I think I'm privileged, that because of what I am, I have got the opportunity to be able to write and to be able to have a conversation. And I really am very grateful for that opportunity. And that's why what am I talking about, what is the conversation that I'm having, is very, very important because it's a privilege to have this opportunity. Because I'm a known face, I get this opportunity to do this, and I appreciate it. So I have not really thought of myself as an author in that sense. I really still look at myself more as an actor. And so, but it's a creative field. I am a creative person, and there are various ways that you express your creativity. And whatever phase that, when I wrote the Modern Gurukul, that's what the phase that was ruling my life at that point of time. And when this book comes, the book of books comes, it has come after I understood the strength of recommending books, of great recommendations, because through my healing journey, there have been wonderful people and my book club community which has recommended some amazing books that have helped me in my journey. So I understood the strength of recommendations, and I also understood the importance of being a reader. And hence when HarperCollins has come with the idea of what about you do your recommendations, and that's how we decided to write about books, and that's why the book of books. So yeah.
So, Sonali, just to say that there's a saying that don't call yourself an author till you come up with your second book. So you have picked that box, so yeah, don't discount.
No, I think I will call myself an author only if I write 20 of them.
Okay, fine. That's quite
Not before that. Because for me, I have some mad respect for authors. Mm-hmm. What they do, the way they write. I mean, when you read, the way an author can transport you somewhere, the way they can make you think. So only an author can do that. And I don't think I'm in that genre. So I don't look at myself in that zone.
So, okay. So, Sonali, when you put pen to paper, is there any inspiration behind it?
Sorry, what?
When you put pen to paper,
yeah,
is there any inspiration behind, like other writers that you look up to, and you say that probably not emulate, but in a sense that take inspiration from when you write?
Well, I'm sure that would happen if, I'm sure that would happen if I was doing fiction, maybe, but the idea behind the Book of Books, and even that was the idea behind the modern Gurukul, was that I had an opportunity to have a conversation which I felt strongly about, and I did not want it to be like a lecture, because I don't like it when I'm being preached to, and I didn't want to preach. I wanted it to be like a fellow traveler, and you know what, these were the things, this was what made a difference to my life, so let me share it with you. So this is more like, the writing style is more fun, and it's more like, hey, we are all in it together, and let's share this with each other. The modern Gurukul on parenting was also about my journey and what were my experiments and what was the thought process that led me to taking certain decisions that I was taking. And the Book of Books is also somewhere, it's not preachy, it's more about a shared experience, that I have had this experience, let me share it with you. Come, let's go on this journey of loving books together.
Before I bring the movies in, I just wanted you to talk about your book club. Because of course nowadays you can think of book clubs, there's so many other book clubs and all, but the time when you started,
yes,
it was probably pretty new for this part of the world. Like,
I think it was the only book club. Yeah.
So what did actually got you into this thing of having a book club at that point of time?
You know, the Sonali's book club was formed because I got onto social media, and I realized that social media is an amazing tool if you can use it in a positive way. So I was just looking at how could I use it positively. And I was also at that point of time writing a book on parenting. Parenting had taken up so much of my time, and that I had lost the habit of reading because of the hustle and bustle of, you know, children do that. You know, you're committed to it, and you know, I was missing my habit of reading, where I could go back and immerse myself in a book without having to worry. It's feeding time, it's this time, you know, all of that, school time, pick-up time, and all of those things. So, but it's a discipline when you start reading, and you know, every time I would go back to reading, it was like, you know what, I have to start from 10 pages back. Forget it, let me read a shorter book, let me read an article, life goes on. And I realized that I'd lost the habit of reading, and I just wanted to get back into it. So the idea was to form this book club where I read with people online, and we had to discuss the book. So you had to read it so that you would discuss it. So it was just to get back into the habit of reading.
Okay, so now I'm getting the movie part in. Talk about your favorite book to screen adaptations.
Oh my God. Difficult. You know, when you're a reader, I feel that movies don't do justice to the books. And when you're a movie person, like my husband, then movies are the ultimate. And it's like, oh, this is going too long, they've got it, the visuals are so much nicer. So that's always going to be a difference. But from the latest, if you look at it, and finally I feel Dune, which has been one of my favorite series of books growing up, because, you know, I feel that this new series of Dune has done sort of justice to, it's coming close to doing that. I still stand by the fact that no movies can do justice to books, but yeah, this comes close.
I get it, because there's this famous cartoon where this bookseller is selling the books outside the theater, and there's this movie which is basically a book to screen adaptation, and he's saying this is your last chance to watch the movie, to read the book before you watch the movie. So I get you from that.
Yeah.
But any book to screen adaptation that you would have loved to work with, like
you know, that's a really lovely point, and I've been looking, because I'm such a book lover, I promise you, I've been looking for a book that I could, you know, develop and, you know, prepare, and either play a character in it myself, or even if it is not for that, because I do have a production house, so that's something that's a very much of a that's a regular conversation. I have not found that book yet, but I'm looking, and I'm sure I will find it.
Also, I want to know, in Bollywood, in Indian film industry, you have been a reader, you are a voracious reader. talk about people who were into reading a lot and you would love to like exchange notes or so to say. And talk about people that you said probably book is not their forte, so let's not talk about them.
No, that would be mean to do that, but But I think I was always reading on set, and I know that out of all the actors, Saif used to be a very, very, and is I think still a very voracious reader, and it was interesting to have another actor on set who was reading a lot, and we could exchange notes on books, and he would come up with some good recommendations too. So it was very interesting. Saif was a reader always, yeah.
Okay. We talked about Saif. I was talking to Sonali yesterday.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like because she had taken a break from movies and all.
Right, yeah.
The Chori 2 came out.
Okay.
It got good response. So she said that I got a little bit distracted. I'm quoting her on this. I got a little bit distracted with motherhood, and that is why I had to take a break.
Yeah.
Is it fun? Do you think that it's right if we can say the same about you? Probably it was motherhood that...
Yeah, but I got distracted for a very long time, I must say. I always told myself a few years and then I'll get back. But there were so many things and I was really enjoying that part of my life also. So there were so many things that were happening that I continued with that. Though I always, through my motherhood, worked on non-fiction throughout my motherhood journey. But fiction, I took some time to get back to. Non-fiction for me was like going to an office job, so it was okay. But fiction is not that. You need to put yourself into it. You need to become that character, and which I didn't have. I didn't have that kind of a mindset at that point of time. So I got into fiction after I could. It was a very long break. It shouldn't have been such a long break, though.
So you're saying that probably would have been happy to have more movies.
Well, I did get back to fiction with Ajeeb Dasta Hai Ye, and I started with it, and then because of my the cancer diagnosis, it again took a back seat. And then the process of healing, so it was being a mother, being a parent for a bit, got distracted with that, and then as I started fiction, because of the healing process, again there was a distraction, and now I'm back after all of that. Totally back into working, yes.
So your last web series, I believe, was
Broken News, yes.
So I just want to know, the people who say that this is the best time to be an actor because there are so many mediums.
Yes.
Do you think that it is true? Like when I majorly talk about female actor, it is that much there, or do you think that there are still those stereotypical roles when it comes to about the female actor?
Well, it's much better than what it used to be, but it can be better. Let's put it that way. I definitely, as a female actor of a certain age, I'm still looking for more challenging things that would come to me, and it would be a pleasure to do. I'm looking for them still, but it's so much better than what it used to be. So I'm grateful for getting the opportunity.
Any over the years, any role that actually got your fancy and was a wish like, oh my god, I hope that I got to play that one?
No, I think it's yet to come, and it is going to come.
Okay.
It's in the second innings. It will come.
So are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Are you working?
Broken News was one of that. I am working on things, but I can't talk about them just now. Nowadays, everything is very corporate, and there are so many legal documents you sign. So I can't talk about it. But yeah, there are interesting things that are coming my way, and I'm very interesting things coming in future. I'm sure we'll meet up and talk about it then.
We'll definitely do
yes.
That. So also, because we're talking about reading, how important it is to inculcate this habit, because as a reader, you grow and you think about different things, you go into different worlds. But also, today in day and age we are living, there's so much of misinformation also, there's so much things going on WhatsApp also. So it is also important to be informed about what's happening around the world. So probably reading takes you to that part, right?
No, I would say that what happens with reading is that you are learning about different worlds, different places on this planet, and about different cultures, because you're reading about these characters and the lives they lead, so you get to know about different cultures. I just feel that it just makes you more tolerant, more inclusive, and it broadens your horizons, where you understand that there are so many different ways to be. And just understanding that fact opens up, and you're just more open to somebody else's point of view. And that, I think, is a big plus of reading. And I think that answers your question. Yeah.
This is my last question. We just touched upon this. I just wanted to know whether in future there's some character or there's some storyline developing in your head for which you can be a fiction writer. Is there any fiction book that we see coming out from you?
No, so there are, I'll be very honest with you. There are many stories and characters that come up and they sit And then I feel, no, I can't take it to the whole book. I can't make a whole book out of it. So maybe when I get a little more time, because I'm doing so many things at this point of time, maybe someday I'll pick out these various characters that are there and maybe I'll be able to put them together and write one. You never say never, but at this point of time, it hasn't yet happened. Okay. I mean, I've come out with them and then it's gone back into a